Hello, I'm Kathleen, and I'm the author of Hurt People, Help People. And also, I'm the author of the Body Book. These are two of the same. I retitled the book. However, I want to speak out just a little bit because I was watching Wendy Williams, and I did hear her comments regarding R. Kelly. And some of the things she said just really struck me in a very off way. And so I definitely wanted to make a comment about the things that she said. I'm going to let you listen to the video, and then I'll get back to it. So the video is about 3 minutes long. So just watch the video, okay? And then I'll come back. So this is Kathleen Harrod. I'm the author of the Body Book and Hurt People, Help People.
So, there's a grassroots movement to remove R. Kelly's music, remove R. Kelly from the music industry forever. What is this, 10 years too late? Really? Two Atlanta women are really upset that R. Kelly has had a career despite decades of troubling accusations, and those are the women. So they have now created a hashtag mute R. Kelly. It's not going to work. Black people aren't really good at protesting. Not since the King March, and it's not going to work. Although it's worked so far for them, they've helped to cancel R. Kelly concerts in 8 cities so far. He's coming to New York, and his concerts will be canceled this weekend. Oh, they're trying to get them canceled. See, there's so many people that are like, he didn't do it, or whatever. The Me Too movement hasn't affected R. Kelly, because R. Kelly, he wasn't a Me Too. Aaliyah voluntarily married him when she was 15 years old, and her parents voluntarily let her do it when she was 15 years old. And that little girl that I saw for my own eyeballs that he urinated on and had his way with was there at his house. She let it go down. He's been involved with multiple, allegedly. I don't have to say allegedly. I saw it. I don't have to say alleged. I saw it. Yeah, when the tape came out, I was popping on the radio. They rushed that tape to New York. Rushed it to me. Wouldn't let me hold it. But rode me around. This is back when big limos were in style. Rode me around Manhattan so I could see it for myself. Oh, I saw it all right. I will never step in the name of love. Also, the multiple allegations of R. Kelly holding women in his home. Where are their parents? Allegedly, the parents are complaining, but where are their parents? This is a whole different thing. It has nothing to do with Me Too. R. Kelly is just a very, very sick man. And if you still listen to his music, fine. Clap if you still listen. Okay. There you go. All right. What? The old R. Kelly. Oh, God. All right, let's move along. The old R. Kelly. The old R. Kelly was the one in the studio with the young girls. That is the old R. Kelly. The new R. Kelly probably is messing with older women or women his own age. The old R. Kelly is the pig. I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind on a 15-year-old girl. When he married Aaliyah, they also faxed me. This is back when fax machines were big. Immediately faxed me the court the marriage certificate from Cook County in Chicago. I've been doing Hot Topics a long time. I just consider it interesting conversation. That's all. All right, so Monique.
Okay. So she definitely said a mouthful. I'm not going to touch on everything or every thought that's kind of running through my head, but I will say this. Um, if Wendy Williams, and I'm not trying to hang Wendy Williams, I appreciate her show, I appreciate her platform. I really just want to use this as a teachable moment. So if Wendy Williams was privy to information about what we would assume, because we didn't know that they were allegations against R. Kelly, if she actually saw footage that would incriminate R. Kelly, um, I'm kind of wondering why didn't she speak up? And I think I kind of heard it in all that she was saying, the reason why she probably didn't speak up. And so that's what I want to talk about. I want to challenge us to think about how we think about children. When I hear her say that 15-year-old Aaliyah had some type of desire and she wanted R. Kelly and she voluntarily married R. Kelly. And when I hear her say that whomever this child was that R. Kelly urinated on was volunteering and participating for whatever sum of money or for whatever reason, or, she surmised in her mind, it actually just makes me think about how important it is for all of us to be adults, right? Because the Bible says one thing. It says, when I was a child, I thought like a child. And I think a lot of times we don't really take that sentiment to heart, that when a child is a child, the child only has the capacity to think as a child. Doesn't mean the child will not have some behaviors that would mimic adulthood, or do some things irresponsibly because they think they grown, or whatever the case may be. What it actually means is that we as adults have to understand that children are only going to be able to think on a child's level. I'm pretty sure, Aaliyah, rest in peace, she's no longer here with us, but I'm pretty sure, based on the simple fact of how my life changed. So when I got 30, 32, now I'm 45. The things I thought about at 15 don't compare to my experiences as a 25-year-old and a 32-year-old and a 20 and a 40-year-old. So to say that a 15-year-old or a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, even a 21-year-old, but I know 18 is the age of consent, you're considered an adult, but anything under 18, I caution us to think about what we're saying if we're going to say that a child knew fully what he or she was doing. So now you're taking the responsibility of being an adult, 18 and older. Now you're taking that responsibility of being 18 and older, and you're saying that the child could make a decision as if they were the adult. And that is a major problem. And I'm from the South. And in the South, it's evident, all over the world, but in the South, they definitely say that young girls are fast or the little boys are mannish. When they see them exhibiting sexual behaviors or sexual attitudes or patterns or what have you. So, but what we need to be clear about is, when I was a child, I was molested and I was raped. Okay, at 15 and 13, well, I was technically raped. I was nothing I was participating in. But even then, some of the relationships were inappropriate. I know for a fact one person in particular would definitely be facing statutory rape charges at this point. Back then, concerning me, they were too old for me. But we don't know, like what I know now at 44, 45 years old now, just turned 45. So what I know now doesn't even compare to even my ideals at the age of 13 and 14. At that time, I was already a survivor of molestation and rape in the home. And so, I didn't know what I was doing. And I don't know why we think that children have the capacity to understand the nature of their behavior and the consequences of it. They don't. They really, really don't. And what I want to ask is, how involved are we in the lives of children to help them find out, or for us to find out why they're exhibiting certain behaviors, because there's always a reason why. Because dysfunction is always paired with some type of misfunction or dysfunction that the child has been subjected to. So you're not going to find a healthy-minded, mentally, emotionally, a child who's being raised in a great home. You're not going to find that type of child being promiscuous at 13, 14, 15 years old. That's just not going to happen. Sex is such a powerful move. It's such a transition from being a child to actively participating in sexual activity, if you think about it, right? It's such a transition until I can't fathom in my mind a child getting to a point where they would agree to participate in a sexual practice, especially with an adult. Especially with someone, I'm 13, that person's 18, 19, 20 years old. There's like there's a great deal of fear when you're talking about sharing your body with somebody. And if they don't have that, even a small portion of fear and insecurities and all the things that come with sharing your body with someone naturally, well, then you know something traumatic has happened. Now, in speaking in terms of R. Kelly and all of these predators out here, I mean, the gymnastic guy, the coach, Carlos Bale, who molested those 42 boys, and he had HIV. When you look at Jared the Subway guy, when you look at the Sandusky trials, when you look at all of this, the one thing I want us to hold on to after watching this video is that children don't have the wherewithal to make a decision about being in a sexual relationship with an adult or someone older. It is because of that laws are instituted. Now, why they get away with it predominantly is because the judges in the case are probably male, and they have this tendency to be lenient. And then if they have money, that ups the level of escapism for the predator, because they basically pay their way out. And then you have a true dynamic, which entails the fact that evidence is destroyed so quickly. Most people don't know that within 3 days, DNA is actually toxic. It's not really reliable after 3 days, after 72 hours. So you have the true factors that one has to consider. The child is not able to make that type of decision. You have the predators who are skilled at manipulating and grooming these children, which is a whole nother story. So from this point on, please understand that even if you take someone to trial, if you've gone home, taken a shower, it's been a couple of days or so, the DNA practically may not even exist anymore unless you save your underwear or the pants you were wearing, or you scrape from under your nails and put it in a bag, and it's so much that goes into it. And then do you have you have that proof, but how do you prove it was non-consensual? So then you move into law. Was the person older? Well, then you still probably have a case because it's considered statutory rape. And you just have all of this information that we need to understand. I can't bring it to you in one video. What I'm going to ask you to do is follow me at TBB Contact 3, where I will be, and I continue to educate the public and bring you into a place of awareness. Because when I hear people like Wendy Williams make the comments like she made today, I know that there is such a level of ignorance, and I don't say that to shade her. I'm saying that we just don't know any better. I don't know why we're not seeking information and trying to understand. But when I hear people make comments like that a 15-year-old volunteered, and in a 15-year-old's mind, do you know? I mean, think about it. At 15-year-old, you just got off the Barbie doll trail, right? You're just now figuring out that you have a body that, I mean, it's just, Think of being 15 years old. Think of that. I don't care if you were raised in the raggediest household known to man, totally dysfunction. I don't care. Think about being 15 years old. Maybe you're into sports. Maybe you love to sing. You love to write. Maybe you haven't even had your first boyfriend. That school boyfriend who brought you candy or walked over to the lunch table with you and your friends and made you blush. I'm talking 15. So to hear an adult say that at 15, a child was making a conscious choice, fully aware of all the consequences and understanding life at 15, that's a no. So with Wendy Williams, I have to disagree. And I have to try to help us understand the legitimacy of an adult having a relationship with a child is impossible. It's just two different mindsets. They're in two different places, And then for people to say, oh, well, R. Kelly is sick and all pedophiles are sick and all predators are sick and they're sick. Okay, well, if they're sick and it's disgusting, how could it be plausible that the relationship could be even real? That a 15-year-old would even be willing to consent? When you think about it, you're an adult, right? You're 21, you're 25, you're whatever age. You have to know that that is a violation. So no, I'm not going to let Wendy Williams just say that and rob Aaliyah of her innocence because she was a child. And God forbid, whoever that poor child was that this man urinated on, I'm not understanding. We have to know that all of this is wrong. And we have to know and we have to speak from a place where we don't sound like morons and we don't sound unethical and, we don't sound like we're judging victims, judging children. I mean, Wendy Williams, you have an audience. You have young ladies, just like Oprah does, and everybody else who look up to them. And to hear you say, oh, she knew what she was doing. She volunteered and her parents volunteered. And then I know for a fact that at one point in my state, the age of consent was 14. And I can tell you, I directly got on the phone and spoke with an investigator. There are so many cases of statutory rape and molestation until to help the system alleviate some of our court time, investigation, and all that, the age came down to 14. So I want you to know what you're up against. I want us to know we're in this Me Too movement. I want us to really know what we're facing as a nation. Now, I just did the other day go to websites and look up information in terms of age of consent in different states. Needless to say, the age of consent is up in the state in which I was in at that time. But also in the state of Arkansas, you only have 7 years or to the age of 28 to report a rape. In a lot of states, it's unlimited. There is no time frame. You can report as long as you have evidence, as long as you can, if you feel like you can, if you want to report, you can, and something will be done about it. How far it will go, it's going to depend on proof and all kinds. You got to go to court. It's just like any other thing. But Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken, has a 7-year or 28-year birthday mark. So that means if someone rapes you, you only have 7 years to report them and something be done about it. Or to your 28th birthday, which is unfair. That person chose when they wanted to rape me. I didn't ask for it. So why can't I choose when I want to take action against them? So if you look up your state information and find out what's going on. But I didn't want to just leave what Monique said out there because it's not right. And so go to Amazon.com. You can purchase these books. My name is Kathleen Herron. I'm the author. I'm a survivor. And I want to help everyone understand the Me Too, Church Too, Time's Up, Be Loud movement. All of it is a movement. And I want you to have as much information as possible. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good day.